Delve into art, architecture, and design with Srijan Design Academy SDA and thrive in exams, college, and career. Welcome to SDA. Figure-based aptitude. Topic 18. Path length in 3D figure. Relevant for exams like NATA, CEED and CEED.
Hello everyone. Today we are doing finding the length in 3D figures. Earlier we have done exercise which is finding the length in 2D figures. Okay, so you can refer to that exercise for understanding the figures. In this case, we have a 3D figure with us. We need to identify what are the basic lengths and how do we apply the Pythagoras theorem in order to get the correct lengths, which are mentioned from A to B in green color in all the questions. Let's look at this question first of all. So in this case, what do we have? A length is given to us, that is 8. So let me mark certain points. So I'm marking capital A, I'm marking capital B, and I'm marking capital C. So A to B, the length is 8. B to C, the length is 8. So therefore, we can simply apply the Pythagoras theorem, and therefore, we have a figure where 8 and 8 are given. So simply, it will become 8 root 2. How it will become 8 root 2? This is nothing but whole root of 8 square plus 8 square. From there, what we can do? We can take 8 square common. So 8 square taken common. So therefore, we have 1 plus 1. And that is the whole root. And now, what do? We take out 8 square in form of 8. So that becomes 8 root 2. Okay. I hope you are very much familiar with Pythagoras theorem. Therefore, I am not mentioning that it will be AC square is equals to AB square plus BC square. And this is what we have applied in order to get the final answer. Now, once we know this thing, let's move to another question. What will happen in this case? So in this case, I'll mention capital A, I'll mention capital B, and I'll mention capital C. I'll also mention A dash. Okay, so I'll draw this line here, and then I'll draw this line. This is a triangle. This is a ABC triangle. In this ABC triangle, what is happening? The length BC is known to us. It will be definitely half of the entire length, so that will be 4. So BC is known to us. So that is 4. Now, what is AB? How do we get AB? Okay, from the previous question, we know AB is 8 root 2, but those who don't know what is AB, AB will simply be AB is equals to whole square root of A dash square plus A dash B square. Okay, that will be this line and this line. Okay, so from there you can find this is 8 root 2 and this is 4. So once you know that this is 8 root 2, this is 4, we can identify the other thing. So now AC is your hypotenuse. So when you have AC as your hypotenuse, the length AC in this case will be equals to the combined root of 8 root 2 whole square plus 4 square. So what do we do from here? We get 8 square into 2. Root 2 square will become 2. And then we have 4 square. Further, from here we can take 4 square common. So when I take 4 square common, okay, the 8 square will become 4. The 2 become 2 itself. And this becomes 1. Okay. So from here, now what we get? We can take 4 out. The inside thing becomes 9. And therefore, this becomes 4 into 3 and that is 12. Clear to us? So now, in this case, we can define if we have a length from one of the corner to one of the midpoints of the opposite line, then that is nothing but 3 by 2 times of A. Okay. What is the diagonal length? The diagonal length is A root 2. So we have identified 2 lengths and we will be using these 2 lengths in other set of questions. Further, next, whatever we will get, we'll identify that and we'll solve accordingly. Now, in this question, what we are getting? In this question, we have another different thing. That is, we are starting from a corner and going to the midpoint on the same edge. Okay, that means on the same surface. So you have 8 here and you have 4 here. So what will happen? This will be 8 square plus 4 square and that is whole root. So you take 4 square common. So what is remaining inside? 4 plus 1. Okay. Those who have doubt how this is 4 plus 1, they can comment in the video and we'll answer them how this can be done. So we take 4 out from here and therefore we have root 5 inside. So what this becomes, basically this became A by 2 root 5. Okay, again also remember this part. So now in this case, how many 4 root 5 we have? We have 2 4 root 5. One is from A to B, one is from B to C. So therefore 2 times of 4 root 5, and therefore final answer is 8 root 5. Let's move to another question. In this case, what is happening? Again, the same question, starting from a point, going to the midpoint on the same edge, means the edge which is on the same surface. B to C again is same thing. So therefore, we don't have to worry in this case. The simple answer is 4 root 5 here. The simple answer is 4 root 5 here. Therefore, the final answer is 8 root 5. Okay. This we have already done in the earlier question. Let's do this one. So by now, we know all the things. So what is this? So this will be 8 root 2. What is this? This is simply the length. So this is just 8. What is this? Starting from a point on the same surface going to the middle. So this is nothing but 4 root 5. Okay. So now we have three things with us. 8 root 2 plus 8 plus 4 root 5. That is the final answer in this case. We'll go to the decimal answers in upcoming exercise when we'll see how we need to rationalize it and make the decimal answer very quickly. Okay, what will happen in this case? Again the same thing. A to B is equals to 8 root 2. B to C is equals to 4. And C to D is equals to 4 root 5. So therefore the final answer is a little bit different from the last one. 8 root 2 and then 4 and then 4 root 5. Clear? Let's move to another question. Now instead of a cube, we are getting a cuboid. So when we are getting a cuboid, we need to apply the same methods which we were knowing earlier. But now the numbers will be different. So therefore we need to treat it a little differently. So A to B. Let me take a A dash point. Okay, so to identify the length A to B, we need to use the A dash point. So what we are getting here? We are getting A dash square plus A dash and B square and then the whole root. Okay, what is A dash? That is 2 square. So 2 square we have taken. What is A dash B? That is 8 square. So 8 square we have taken. Okay, so now from here, when you take 2 square common, this becomes 1. When you take 2 square common, that becomes 4 square. So therefore we can take 2 out and inside it will become 70. So that became 2 root 70. So we have identified one length. This is AB length. Now let's try to identify what will be BC length. So BC length, let me draw a C dash. So this length is 2 and that length is 2. And we know when two equal lengths are given, the diagonal length or the hypotenuse length simply becomes A root 2. So therefore this will become 2 root 2. So now we have both the lengths with us. So final answer with us is 2 root 2 plus 2 root 17. Clear everyone? Let's move to another question. In this case, what will happen? Now the question is a little complicated. One thing, we need to identify the right triangle and then we need to go about it. Okay, so here, this is the case. This is how you can form a right angle triangle. Okay. There is also another way by which you can form a right angle triangle is by going here and connecting this. Okay. So you can choose any of the things, whichever is very well understood to you. Okay. So in this case, what happens? In case of red one, this is length is 8 and the other length is 2 root 2. Okay. How? Because let me take some points. Let me take this point as A dash and let me take this point as B dash. So B to A dash. B to A dash is something like this. This is B, this is A dash and this is B dash. This length is 2, this length is 2, therefore that is 2 root 2. Okay, so we can find out this as 8 square plus 2 square into 2. Okay, 2 root 2 square. So from here we can take 2 square common. So when we take 2 square common, what is remaining? 4 square. And on this side we have 2 remaining. So 2 can be taken outside and this becomes 16 plus 2, that is 18. Okay, so further from 18, what you can do, you can take 9 out in the form of 3. Okay, so that is 9 into 2. So you will get 2 into 3 and root 2. So overall what you get is 6 root 2. Okay, if you do the other method, you will get the same answer. For the other length, what happens? So this you are getting here. Okay, and then you are going to the center of it. So let me call this point C dash. So now you have C, C dash and D. Okay, this length is known to us, that is 2. What is this length? Okay, so here in this case, what we'll do, we already have the point C, so we'll consider point D here. Okay, now the CD length is 1 and D C dash length is 8. So from here, we will get C C dash length. So C C dash will be equals to 8 square plus 1 square, the whole root. So whole root of 8 square plus 1 square, and that will become root of 65. Okay, nothing but 64 plus 1. Now we have to figure out the length C dash B. So C dash B is clearly half of 4, so that just becomes 2. Now we have to finally go and find out the length CB. So CB is nothing but whole root of CC dash plus C dash B, square and square. Okay, so once we have this, what do we know? We know that the CB length is equals to square of 65, that is 65 itself, square of 2, that is 4. So therefore the entire root, and therefore it becomes root 69. So on one side we have got the answer as root 69, on one side we have got the answer as 6 root 2. So the combined answer with us is root of 69 plus 6 root 2, and that is our final answer for this case. Let's move to another question. Now the question is much more simpler than the earlier ones. So in this case, I'll consider a few points. So this is A dash, and I'll consider this as B dash. Now all the lines are known to us. So this is 2, this is 4. So AC length will simply become 4 square plus 2 square whole root. We can take 2 square common, so 2 will come out, and therefore we'll be remaining with 2 square plus 1, and therefore this becomes 2 root 5. So okay, we have figured out one length. About another length, this is 2 and that is 8. When 2 and 8 are there, we also know that length, but let's calculate it once again. BC is equals to 8 square plus 2 square whole root. That will be equals to 2 taken common. So therefore 4 square is remaining and 1 is remaining, and therefore this becomes 2 root 17. So the final answer with us is 2 root 5 plus 2 root 17. Okay, so in this case, this is our final answer. Let's move to the next question. Okay, so this is a question for you all. Solve the question, answer in the comments. We'll give you the final answer in next 5 days. Thank you. Remain connected with us.
To buy our detailed study material online, WhatsApp us on 70420646648 or ping us on Instagram. For more questions, drop a comment on our video. Subscribe us to Thrive in Exams, College, and Career.